Okay, today's episode kan special sikit sebab you know lah kan, cable management in PC semua all very susah. So ASUS came out with this. Okay, it's not that heavy, but because it's on the table, there's rubber grips at the bottom, it makes it look heavy. This, actually not everything lah, the motherboard and the casing. This is what ASUS calls the ASUS BTF. So what is ASUS BTF? Actually BTF kan, it means back to the future. So what happened is, the guys, the budak-budak behind ASUS, they were thinking, they were seeing the community complain, they want the most minimalistic look to their build. But susah lah, because there's a lot of cables everywhere kan, so end up we need to buy all those RGB cables just to make it look nicer, but instead of achieving the minimalistic effect, it looks like kedai tom yum. So to prevent that, or to achieve that minimalistic look, the ASUS BTF series, the whole concept is to hide as much cables as possible in the front. Okay, so in this case here, as you can see, the 24 pins are missing. If you look down, the front IOs and all the USB connectors to the front port are all missing as well. So what happened is, for this motherboard design, everything, all the cables are actually at the back. So come, let's have a closer look. For the back, as you can see, the 24 pins are all here at the side panel here. It's still in the same orientation, it's just that it's facing at the back now. So it's all here. And then look at the bottom, the front panel and all the HD audio, the USB connectors, everything is already facing the back. But of course, this design got a bit of, what would you call it? This design has a bit of challenge where not all casings can accommodate this. So that's why ASUS came up with this casing as well, just to accommodate this motherboard. So, I actually didn't tell you what motherboard is this. This is the ASUS TUF GAMING B760M D4 Wi-Fi. So it's a DDR4 motherboard for the latest Intel generations. But otherwise, everything is behind. Motherboard, this TUF motherboard, to accommodate it, they came up with the ASUS A21 case. So, what's special about this case? Okay, the ASUS A21 case is actually an MATX case. It does actually accommodate to all the standard motherboards, but it's because of the back panel here that it's designed to have all the cutouts to accommodate to the BTF design motherboards. From what I can see here in this casing, the front accommodates a up to 360mm radiator, the top as well, and the back you can put in a 120mm. But of course, in the case of fans, you can have an arrangement of 3 120mm and 2 140mm. But otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward case. Oh, but there is a special feature as well. It comes in black and white. So to achieve that minimalistic look again, the white case actually comes with all the white cables and connectors. Unlike some casings where you get white casing, but all the cables inside are black. So it kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, so back to the motherboard. Actually, this motherboard, it's your everyday B760M motherboard. There's nothing much different from the other B760M TUF Gamings. It's just that it's really built for BTF and it's already available in the market. And right now, it's going for this price and the casing is going for this price. Okay. So looking at the back here, there are 4 USB 2.0 slots. Okay. Of the 3 USB-Cs, one is a Gen 2x2, which is a 20 gig port, one 3.2 Gen 2 10 gig port, and a 3.2 Gen 1, which is a 5 gig port. Looking at the expansion ports, the top lane is a PCIe 5, and the bottom 2 is a PCIe 4x16 and a PCIe 4x1. And there are 3 M.2 slots for your storage expansions. But otherwise, yes, it's a very straightforward motherboard. fully shielded. This is the aesthetic part of the TUF Gaming motherboard. The entire motherboard is fully shielded, if you can see here. Look clearly here. So, for the BTF concept, it has yet to materialize fully. I mean, it's not perfect yet because as you can see here, GPU, the cables for GPU is still here, the AIO tubes are still here. I mean, this is going to be a huge challenge for them to address. But at least for this part, for the time being, we've seen the BTF Advanced Concept version, which is already available on their website, where there's a TUF Z790. And if not mistaken, it's a TUF 4070. I'm not too sure if it's a TI or not, where there are no cables in front, but instead the PCB itself has a connector directly to the motherboard. And as for casing, the upcoming design that we've seen is the GT502. But to start with, I think ASUS has done a pretty decent job with what we have right here. If you look at in the entire case here, there are no other cables from the motherboard itself. It's only for the GPU and the AIO, but otherwise none. It's already as clean as it gets. So I think for the time being, those who want to adopt this minimalistic design for their PC and whatnot, I think this is a very good entry point. It's just that this is what we have for the time being, and I hope moving forward ASUS will come up with more options and fully, I would say, materialize the concept that they have. So yeah, tell me what you think. Kalau korang suka, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. Thank you.